I'm Kevin Coleman with the Saddle Post, and we have some very big news today. Mike Throne, CEO and President of the Chamber of Commerce, what can you say?
Well, I mean, obviously it's not the news that you want. It's obviously a huge blow. In terms of the initial reaction is I feel horribly for the folks that are working there right now. 830 or so was the last number that we had. And so I want them to have their moment to grieve their loss. And then it's time for us to get started on what happens next.
It sounds like you're already working on that.
Yeah, so we'll have some, I think sooner rather than later, we're going to have some meetings. The chamber, the county, the city, economic development will be getting together and talking about what role each of us is going to have in trying to either market the site. I think the first thing is to make sure that folks have the resources that they need to either find new jobs, upskill or reskill, and find employment in other places. And then from there, it's how do we fill a big gaping hole in our community? And it's going to be a tough one. But I made the statement earlier today, and I'll keep making it because I believe it to be true. And that is this: that we weathered in this city floods and fires and storms and recessions and COVID-19 and much more. The resiliency of this community has always been on display. And so I believe very strongly that it's gonna happen this time as well. It's not great news for the folks that are there now, but we're gonna pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and get back to work.
So it's unquestioned that Pixel plans to shut down the paper mill.
Yeah, I mean their announcement today was the complete closure of the mill. What we're hearing is either 45 or 60 days, and hopefully from that point, we'll be able to see if there's possibilities for other folks or those folks to find employment elsewhere.
It seems incredible they would shut down the entire thing, even if parts of it are a bit outdated and need updating.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not privy to all the discussions on the inside. You'll hear a variety of things in the community and throughout the industry about the viability of the paper market and things like that. What I know is that for 215 years in this community, paper making has been a staple of the economy, going back to 1810 on Chillicothe Creek. And so, it's not. It's been the backbone of the economy for a very, very long time, and generations have had careers at the paper mills. And so that's what we've got to grieve first before we can sort of get to work and start finding new uses for the site or whatever.
At least this is not 40, 60 years ago when the local economy was less diverse.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the good news for us, and I was making this point to somebody, we have Kenworth, we have Adena Health, we have 2 prisons here that employ a lot of people. Government employs a lot of people here, and those are all good things. The VA Medical Center, those types of things are all great things for us to have. It's the reason why our economy has been able to weather a lot of these storms. And, we're excited about what might be in the future on that site or, what else is to come in our region.
Is there a chance another company would pick that up and keep it going? Would they have to deal with permits if it's been shut down and needs to be restarted? Yeah,
so as far as like the pulp mill goes, I think there's some specific requirements there that it could not sit vacant or dormant for very long until they would have to start a whole new permitting process. I'm not 100% well versed on that. I would say this, as I look at it, it's probably unlikely that another paper mill would go in there, but I'll cling to the possible, that's for sure. And, if there's paper companies out there that are looking for a viable market that has the workforce that can get the job done for them, I know of a place, and that's Chillicothe.
All right. Well, we will all be watching the news.
For sure.
All right. Mike Throne with the Chillicothe Ross Chamber of Commerce. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.